Up until this point, all of my guests have been friends of mine that are feature filmmakers that I love and respect. However, my next guests, Michael Gallagher and Stephen Greene, are YouTube sensations, which is so not the point of this show. I don't really know what they do. When you say you make something for YouTube, that's like saying like, yo, I wear a shoe. Like, are you wearing a boot? Are you wearing like Crocs? And they're gonna talk about how they would make a movie where Nick Cage plays himself. I guess to children, Nick Cage is not a person, but a piece of intellectual property.
Hi, I'm Michael Gallagher, and I'm here with my black friend Steve Greene. And today,
Don't say I'm black.
we're pitching the greatest piece of intellectual property known to man.
Why'd you say I'm black?
We want to make all the money
We want to make every single dollar that's available in the world.
in the whole world.
And so how do you do that? We had a couple ideas, actually. One of them involved a dog becoming president of the United States. We also have a film
A remake of Batman.
of Batman.
But that's been done.
I want to tell you about my Batman idea really bad.
Again, it's been done.
But I have a duty to tell you about a movie that appeals to every single person.
The biggest piece of IP, bigger than Harry Potter, bigger than any Hunger Games, 50
Star
Shades
Wars,
of whatever.
You know, Godfather, okay?
Think bigger. We're not talking about a piece of fiction. We're talking about a man and his legacy and everything he means to America and the world.
We're talking about a man who is not just a man, but he is himself a franchise. And that man is Nicolas Cage.
And this is Nick Cage movie. And we wanted to do two things with this film. One, make a great action artistic film. And two, fix a lot of Nick Cage's debt problems.
He starts the movie in very serious tax debt.
When we meet Nick Cage, I mean, he's getting calls from pretty much every credit union, everything he's ever purchased.
People are going to his house under the auspices that they're interested in purchasing his castle, and they're just using the bathroom and leaving. They just want to talk to Nick Cage a little bit. He's very insistent on serious buyers only. He can't seem to get serious buyers to come into his place.
And he's too cheap to hire a real estate agent. He does not like middlemen, so he is doing a for sale by owner on all of his castles.
He's been burned before by real estate agents. They say one thing, they do another. He can't have that. And
3% of a $40 million castle. Do the math.
it adds up pretty quickly.
He wants that in his pocket. We're talking about years of tax neglect.
So the movie is called Nicolas Cage Movie.
Nick Cage movie, for short.
And in Nick Cage Movie, the protagonist, Nick Cage, is actor Nick Cage, who has all 14 of his daughters get kidnapped
By the Russian mob.
by the Russian mob. So he gets a phone call in the beginning of the film. He's like, "Give me back all my daughters. You have all my daughters, basically."
And he's currently doing a for sale by owner on one of his castles because he does not want to give that commission to a real estate agent.
He doesn't like having a middleman.
Yeah.
So he actually is currently like from about 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
He's showing that castle.
He shows that castle like to one person at a time, trying to sell it for like $25 million. That's the asking price.
Keep in mind, like trying to furnish a 20-room castle in Bulgaria, it's really hard to get.
It's a lot.
It's hard to get your Picassos up that mountain, if you know what I mean. He's frustrated.
Yeah, he's very frustrated.
And he's just having a tough day. And then on top of that, he gets
All
the phone call that all 14 of his daughters
are
have been
now
kidnapped.
by the Russian mob. And the Russian mob...
They don't want just money from him.
No, they want him to steal the Rosetta Stone.
It's not this. It's not the Rosetta Stone.
It's not the Rosetta Stone. It's the
So let's back it
serpentine.
up for
The
a second.
serpentines.
Yeah, what do we want to call it?
Okay.
Oh, it's a key. The Russian mob does not want money from Nick Cage for his 14 daughters. In a way, the Russian mob's goal is to help Nick Cage realize his potential. What they want is a key. Where is that key? In the White House. Where in the White House?
Underneath the Oval Office, the
presidential seal.
Underneath the seal. Nicolas Cage, the actor, has to break into the White House. He has to take the president hostage because he needs the president to open the locked seal, which has a retina scanner. So
He has to get in a diamond saw into the White House.
he needs a diamond saw as well, so he can drill into the floor and get it's 6 feet into the earth underneath the White House. Once he gets access to the key.
It's a key to a very exotic sports car. You drive it fast enough, it's the fastest car.
It's one of 8 McLaren SLRs like in the world.
He needs to win this death race.
He has to win a death race against
pretty much all the top action stars as well, because all their daughters have been stolen.
So
it's a death race, and the clock is ticking because he's also drinking a serum. It'll kill him. It's like eating away at his skin. It's giving him hallucinations. He thinks there's bees on him.
He feels
like the Wicker Man.
He feels like he's kind of in a dream, and if he doesn't win the death race, he doesn't get the cure, and then he can't get his daughters back. And the president is played by hopefully Chris Rock, but we're looking at probably Eddie Griffin with the budget, which is, that's fine. Eddie Griffin's great. And so Eddie Griffin is kind of a tennis shoes wearing president. He's kind of cool.
He's pretty much talking about.
He's like, oh sure, because I'm the third black president. All that kind of shit. He's got a lot of jokes.
He's like, I don't need to be the Jackie Robinson of presidents. I can be Eddie fucking Griffin. And it's Eddie Griffin. He's not playing the president. No, it's Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin. He's become president.
He was sworn in as president of the United States because he had a great platform. So Nicolas Cage successfully runs the gauntlet. He beats all these other action stars, including the back of the head of Bruce Willis, because let's face it.
We could not afford
Probably couldn't get him. But the back of the head of Bruce Willis he beats, and the car says B. Will 1 or some shit, so we know it's Bruce Willis.
It's a little wink and a nod.
Yeah, a little bit of a tip of the cap to Bruce. Okay. And then, so he wins the death race. He uses the key to get the serum. He cures himself. And then when he's going to rescue all 14 of his daughters, because they're all in one compound.
He's busting in, guns blazing, and he knows this is probably going to be the end of Nick Cage.
He's walking into his own death. He has to give his life for his daughters, probably.
And thank God he did all that action training back in the 90s when he did like Face Off.
There's a little bit of every character. He's got a little bit of Goodspeed, a little bit of the Wicker Man in this. Like he's using all the skills that he learned in all these movies, because he's not an action star. I mean, he is an action star, but he's not like, he doesn't actually do this.
He's not a real assassin. Yeah, he's never really got the treasure map to.
But thankfully he did Gone in 60 Seconds, so he's able to drive really well. Thankfully he did, Ghost Rider, so he can get on a motorcycle and he knows how to navigate on that. Thankfully he did, The Rock, so he knows how to operate like a machine gun and stuff. So at the very end of the movie, Nicolas Cage, while he's getting his daughters out, he gets gunned down.
It's sort of a
tragic.
Sort of a tragic ending.
And as he lays dying, he delivers a monologue about how people should really buy up his real estate empire, because and how the IRS will never get his money now because.
Well, that's the ironic ending actually. It's like as he's dying,
but
he didn't pick up his phone because it's his last words, but on the phone someone is making an offer on his castle.
And here's the thing: after the credits, we see the coroner putting Nicolas Cage's body in the thing. Right? Coroner gets a phone call and he says the job is done. Who's on the line? Nicolas fucking Cage. And how did he get out of his tax debts? He faked his own motherfucking death. Estimated projections. Over $100 billion.
That's if it came out in 1995. From our communications with Nick Cage, he doesn't really know what the internet is.
He doesn't get it.
No one's caught him up to speed.
He only lists his real estate stuff in classifieds and newspapers, and we're like, Nick, you gotta reach out. You can do a website. You can do all this stuff. He doesn't really understand how to do that.
He's a cash and carry guy nowadays.
Yeah, but there's a key scene in the beginning of the movie that kind of lets us in. To his mindset a little bit. He opens up the paper and he sees that his good friend Wesley Snipes just went to jail for tax evasion. And he's like, I'm next. Oh my God. And the one ace up his sleeve is that he believes that in the United States tax law, there's no actual law that says that you have to pay income taxes.
He thinks that if you go into court and say, I'm a free man on the land, I'm a sovereign nation, that you don't have to pay your taxes.
And he's betting it all on that fact, and he knows it's a doomed proposition because he just saw Wesley use it. And Wesley is going away for 3 years hard time.
And Nick Cage knows that he's next. So what is he going to do
What's he going to do about it? And that's our story. That's where our story begins. There's no color yet. It's all black and white.
The tone Nick Cage movie is kind of like if 12 Years a Slave was blacker.
Yeah. Yeah. If it was black, actually.
In the Tyler Perry sense.
Yeah.
Nick Cage isn't a man. He's an idea, okay? And he's the idea that anyone
can beat the IRS. When it looks grim, guys, and you don't know what to do, because here's the thing about Nick Cage movie. He's not offered money by the terrorists. The terrorists want him to do stuff for them. There's no out for him tax-wise. So
he's going to jail no matter what.
He's looking at jail time or death. So when he walks into that warehouse at the end of the film and he gets in that gunfight, he's hoping to God someone puts him down. But he wants his daughters to live on and have a good life. So at the very, very end of the film, we show a part of the movie earlier where he goes into like his buddy Ted Winston, who's Stan Winston's son. He goes to one of his workshops and he's like, "Hey, I just need to pick up a couple of things," and we kind of get a hint at what's to come with the blood packets at the end. And at the end of the movie, when we see him get gunned down and inhale gunfire, that's actually just blood packets going off that he got from Stan Winston's son, and he's able to now move on from Nick Cage in debt, and now he's assuming a new identity as Nick Cage.
Well, no, now he's Miguel Sanchez.
As Nick Cage, lookalike Miguel Sanchez.
What if Tarantino made a Batman movie? They don't just exist in some writer's head. They're a little too out there. If you'd like me to keep making more, please share this with all your friends. I hope you enjoy them.